Hello and welcome to WOW, the positive podcast, showing kids that there's a lot more to world news than bad news. I'm Alistair, and today I'm going to be talking with Clarice about going to school. You remember school? I know many of you are hard at work at home, but because of coronavirus, you probably haven't been to school for weeks. You're probably missing your friends and getting outdoors and all that. Well, let's hope you'll be back to school soon. In the meantime, though, you can find plenty of great ideas on the WOW News website, wow-news.eu. And of course, keep tuning into our positive podcasts. Share them with a friend. Cheer them up by letting them know about wow-news.eu. WOW News. Hello, Clarice. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, Alistair. Every week is a little bit the same, no? I'm sort of getting used to staying at home, but also getting a little bored of not going out.
I can imagine, Clarice. And I think for millions of people around the world who would normally be in school, it's very strange indeed.
And you said we're going to talk about school today.
Yes, Clarice. Of course, we like to keep people up with the news. And we've had some really good news stories over the past few weeks, I'd say. Not just about people cooperating to fight coronavirus, but also about clever new solutions for pollution and climate change and looking after nature. That's all at wow-news.eu. But we've also been using this time of being at home and things have been a bit quiet on the news front to think about some other big issues. And that includes school and why it matters.
You mean we've talked about people who can't go to school normally, like Malala?
Exactly, Clarice. It's easy for most of us to take it for granted that we go to school. And of course, we all know that sometimes we'd rather not go. But when we have to stay away for weeks and weeks, even though we're still trying to study, I think that's a good time for us to think about what it's like for people who can't go to school. A couple of weeks ago, we introduced our listeners to Malala. She was in Pakistan when a bunch of bullies basically took over her part of the country, and they told girls they couldn't go to school.
And Malala said no.
Exactly. Malala said no. She was only 10, but she kept going to school. And she spoke up for herself and for all the other girls. She made the bullies look pretty stupid, to be honest. Well, today we've got another story of a girl who speaks out about going to school.
Okay, so she has the same problem as Malala.
Well, not quite, Clarice. We want to introduce people to Aïssatou. You can hear from her directly over at wow-news.eu. Aïssatou, who lives in the country of Guinea in West Africa, spoke to our friend Virginie, and you can watch the video of the interview on our website.
Great! And so, what is the problem for Aissatou about school?
Well, Aissatou is another young girl. She's still only 13. And she's standing up for her friends who have to get married before they leave school.
Married? Isn't she too young to get married?
Well, yes, Aissatou is too young to get married. So are most of her friends. In Guinea, where she lives, remember, the law says that you should normally be at least 18 before you get married. But in the past, girls have got married a lot younger, and lots of people in Guinea think that that's still normal. So lots of parents still push their daughters into getting married before they're 18. Now, more than half the girls in Guinea are 17 or even less when they get married. Often, some are only 14 or 15.
Gosh, that is really young. Does that happen in a lot of countries?
Sadly, yes, it does happen. Our friend Virginie, who interviewed Aissatou for WOW this week, put it like this. So, Clarice, can you shut your eyes and count to 7?
Okay.
There you go. In those 7 seconds, a girl who was younger than 15 just got married. somewhere in the world. Well, anyway, that's at least true on average. The United Nations, the organization for governments, it reckons that 1 million girls a month get married. And of course, a lot of them don't really get a choice. It's their parents who push them, even if there are laws and international rules that say, they just can't do that.
And what does that mean for school?
That's a good question, Clarice. There are lots of reasons why it's not good for children, and especially girls, to get married so young. It can be very bad for their health, and especially if they have a baby. But it also often means that they have to start working in the house, cooking and cleaning and so on. Aissatou talks about her friend who got married and says she really wanted to stay on at school. But then she was having a baby and she found she just doesn't have the time to go to lessons.
So, what is Aissatou doing about it?
Well, like Malala, Aissatou is speaking up. When her friend had a baby and had to stop school, Aissatou found that there was a club for girls in Guinea who wanted things to change. So she joined up, and she's now president. Great job title, eh? She's president of the club's group against child marriage. I think it's really important for everyone to realize that children have rights and that they need to be listened to. Aissatou and Malala are really good examples of young people who just calmly try to persuade folk that kids have rights and you need to respect them.
And is she having success by speaking up?
Aissatou and her friends are getting attention. Politicians speak to them. Aissatou took part in a film last year that showed children all around the world who are making a difference and changing things for the better. We talked about that, we wrote about that in WOW also back in October, I think, wow-news.eu. And when she's not in class herself, Aissatou goes around talking at other schools, or she walks through the local market with a loudspeaker, telling grown-ups why they should let girls finish school.
Gosh, that sounds brave.
It is brave. I'm not sure I would do it. And sometimes if Aissatou and her friends hear about a girl who has to get married, they go to the police and they come and stop the wedding. That's really dramatic stuff, as you can imagine. In Guinea, they've already stopped dozens of child marriages. And all over the world, over the last 10 years, experts reckon that efforts like Aissatou and all the other people who are doing things like that, they've maybe stopped something like 25 million girls from getting married too young. So there are real results from people speaking up and making their voice heard.
And how does Aissatou try to persuade people to let girls go to school?
Well, first, of course, she says it's girls' right to choose to go to school. It's fun for them, and it gives them more choices when they grow up. They might, say, want to get a job instead of staying at home. They might not, but if they do later want to get a job and they haven't finished school, then that's going to be difficult. But it's not just about what each girl might want for herself. Lots of expert research has found that if women have their first baby when they're older, then their children and their whole family will be healthier and will probably find life a bit easier. Remember, it's in very poor countries where girls are under the most pressure from their parents to get married very young. These are countries where people don't always have enough to eat. And so these decisions about school and work are really massively important.
So you're saying that if girls stay at school, then it's better for everybody, not just for the girls.
Exactly. Lots of experts say that, in fact, one of the single best things that the leaders of any poor country can do to help make their people a bit richer is to help girls stay at school and get a good education and put off having babies until they're a bit older. Now, that doesn't mean that they need to be like people in the richest countries where Sometimes people don't become mums and dads until they're really quite old. But at least waiting until girls have finished high school is a really good thing to do.
And what about Aïssatou? What does she want to do?
Well, Aissatou says she wants to be an international journalist. She certainly shows a lot of promise because she listens to people really well and she explains what's going on.
And that's what you spent a long time doing, right, Alastair?
Yes, I guess I should know. I spent many years as a journalist around the world, and I think Aissatou is on the way to doing really well.
Great. I'm going to go over to the website and listen to her in her interview with Wow.
Good idea, Clarice. You'll find it at our site. What is it again? wow-news.eu. Wow News. Happy listening. And that's it for now from me too. I'll let you all get back to what you were doing. Are you studying at home? Do you have any good tips to share about how to study well at home? Do let us know. You'll find our contact details at wow-news.eu. My tip, by the way, for getting things done is I give myself little bursts of concentrated, busy time, and then I'll let myself do something else. Sometimes I do 20 minutes of work, really concentrated. And then I take 10 minutes to just walk around or read something fun. It works for me anyway. Let us know what works for you. Before I go, we'd love you also to tell us how you feel when you hear about Aissatou. I'm sure she'd be delighted to hear from you or from your school. So do get in touch with us and we'll pass it on to her. If you've enjoyed listening, do tell your friends about us, the Positive Podcast from Wow News. Clarice and I will be back next week. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and keep positive.